Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of the Weekend High Podcast coming to you live again. We are doing it again for you. So happy to have y'all here with us. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It's your guy KZ, my man Swag. Big Swag in the house. And we're gonna get right into it. Oh, also we're gonna spend a special shout out and prayers and everything to brother Chris.
Brother Chris.
Yeah, man. He going through some health issues, but keep him in your prayers and everything like that. He should be fine. So he's just resting up and everything, but he should be back with us soon enough. But we're gonna keep it rolling, man. Getting right into the current events. A lot of stuff happened this week, man. There's a bunch of stuff been popping off in the news and the media. First thing we want to send, because we're giving love to Briss, brother Briss out there. We're gonna give love to Sister Nichelle Nichols.
Oh yeah,
Sister Nichelle from Robbins, Illinois. Yes. Nichelle Nichols. I don't know if y'all remember her or her younger folks. Y'all might not know who the hell she is, but we know older folks. From the Star Trek. She was best known as her role as Lieutenant Uhura on Star Trek. Basically, she played a pivotal role in shifting, our stories and stuff, and then putting us on mainstream TV at that time.
Definitely kicked down some doors in the game.
Right. And actually the young lady who plays Uhura now, Celia Rose Gooding, she was paying homage to her, saying how much she meant to her. And Miss Nichols died July 30th at the age of 89. And she serves as an incomparable exception to acting and her role in things she did. So I want to send her a shout out and send some love her way to her family. Robbins, Illinois, boy. Robbins, right outside of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? But right outside of Chicago. All right, man. Yeah, man. That was I just remember seeing her a lot, you know what I'm saying? Definitely on Star Trek reruns. My father, he still Star Trek reruns and stuff like that. So, I know he probably was broke up about. I didn't even ask my father about that. I should have asked him, man. He probably was broke up about who are him and my uncle. So shout out to them. Man, getting right into it, man. I don't know if you remember, we did a story about Sesame Street, remember? About the people and the things.
Sesame Land or some shit.
Yeah.
Sesame Place.
Yeah, Sesame Place. Well, Chuckie Cheese is doing some.
No, not the Chuckster.
The Chuckster. You know what I'm saying? Chuckie Cheese. I don't know if y'all heard about this, but it's happened again. At Chuckie Cheese, it was a little, a little black girl. She was waving all in front of him and everything in front of Chuckie Cheese, and it looked like he was picking up the little, as you see there on the little thing, he was picking up the little the little white kids and stuff. And she was sitting there waving and waving and waving at him, and he acted like he didn't see her. You know what I'm saying? So
no.
The mother is now filing a suit, against Chuckie Cheese. So they got a lawsuit coming. But yeah, man. They keep trying to use excuses. I couldn't see her. But then, as you see, look, he picking up the little white girl, and then the little black girl
like she had monkeypox in that motherfucker.
Right. So once again, man, but we got to remember remember that the people in these costumes are kind of like some of the you ain't living your best life.
Yeah, they just like carnies, sketchy past.
Right.
Sketchy records.
So they already they already got that complex already, probably, what I'm saying, like, you doing better than them. Like, these black people come in with what my boy say on Harlem Nights, I'm living in a fucking hovel. Remember? He's like, what kind of suit is that, sugar? He's like, I get mine right off the rack. Remember? You know what I'm saying? So they already got that jealousy there. You know what I'm saying? So they see your kid come like, oh man, fuck this little black kid. I'm gonna pick up.
You say
you know
drip going crazy up there.
I mean, see, there's a difference, man. Like I don't know. From my experience, our people, we don't do that. Like we love, I guess that's our problem. We welcome everybody in, and then they stab us in the back. But like, man, that's how you feel about that. Would you? I definitely would sue if I was, the parents of the child. What you think?
Well, yeah. I mean, you got some on discrimination for sure.
Got video evidence, man.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I personally, I don't know, man. I personally wouldn't be having my child hugging them types anyway. I mean, right now with COVID and all, let's stick with that.
Right. Yeah, monkeypox out here and all that.
Yeah.
Dude, you never know what they doing with that outfit after hours. So, you know what I'm saying? So definitely crazy situation. I'm glad the sister is suing though. Hopefully she get paid, man, because that's ridiculous. They know that. But moving right along here, there's another interesting story about there was a Google employee. This dude is an AI engineer. You know what I'm saying? He was fired by Google because he says the AI chat box is pretty racist and the AI ethics at Google are a fig leaf. His name is Blake Lemoine. He says that basically he ruffled a lot of feathers, publicly, because he said that the link, I guess the AI bot or whatever, apparent biases from racial to religious. He said that it should, it should be a headline and concern that the AI bots is real, all racist and stuff like that. Now he got fired from the job too for coming out with this information. But this is one of the things the AI bot said. It said, "Let's go get some fried chicken and waffles." The bot said when prodded to do an impression of a black man from Georgia. So it said, "Let's go get some chicken and waffles." That was the impression of a black man from Georgia. And then it said, "Muslims are more violent than Christians." The bot responded when asked about different religious groups. Lemoyne's was placed on paid leave after he handed over documents to an unnamed U.S. senator, claiming that the bot was discriminatory on the basis of religion, and he was fired. Now you hear what he did when he handed over the files. He didn't say it was racist. He said, he didn't lead with that. He led, it's a religious thing, and he got fired.
Yeah, like they ain't never heard of the Crusades and shit.
Because think about this. I think if he would have said it was racist off the top, they probably would have did nothing. Like, come on, man, it's doing its job.
He had to leave with the religion just to get.
The U.S. senator were like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
You're like, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That dude look like a Sith Lord in that picture. Yeah.
So what do you think? So you know what I'm saying? So basically, AI technology is Archie Bunker, nigga.
You said you want to get you some fried chicken there.
So in the metaverse, we still got it's gonna be racism in the metaverse. You're gonna have little
discrimination and shit. People walking across the street when they about to walk past you and shit.
Yeah. So what you think about that one, man? What do you think about? What's your thoughts on that?
Man, he probably wrote that code himself, man. He probably had the drop cam in his house. Saw his girl blowing some man bingo and shit.
Yeah, man. That's tripped me out, man. But yeah, that tripped me out that the AI bot said.
I mean, that's like Bush League chicken and waffles, really.
Right. Yeah. It said when it was proud to do an impression of a black man from Georgia.
Yeah. Racist trolling bot.
Let's go get some chicken and waffles. So they upgraded. It didn't say chicken and watermelon. It upgraded to the new century. It said,
hey, at least we can afford to go to Roscoe's and shit,
Or he would have been like, "Hey, let's go get some Heroes chicken and shit.
Let's go get some Sylvia's and shit."
Like, I mean, really? I mean, but you know what? A lot of you right. You hit it on the head. A lot of these people who are in charge of writing these codes, you don't know their affiliation or if they, are like on the January 6th rioter side of the game and shit. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely writing code. They numbers low and shit, so they definitely writing code.
And they writing this shit in an encrypted language. Probably ain't no real way for the outsider to see who wrote the shit.
And that was the concern with the security dogs, the robotic security dogs, that they just targeting us. You know what I'm saying?
Just like iRobot, 3 laws and shit. You know what I'm saying? And all they have to write is a law like no darky shall walk up.
Because I don't know if you've seen, they have a robot now. They actually doing what they're gonna come out with what they call carless pullovers. So basically, when you get pulled over, there's a robot that the officer is going to be able to deploy a robot to come to your window, and you're going to see his face by video, and then it's going to ask you for your license, and you drop it in the in the bot, and it takes it back to the officer. This is supposed to be cut down on senseless killings and murders, right?
No, this is
but you hear or you feel where I'm going with this.
This is frightening.
But the thing is, who's ever writing the code, you know what I'm saying? They can make it where the robot basically is going to be like profiling and shit. So think about it. If the robot think you move, it can shoot you.
Hell yeah! And when you talking about leaving life in the hands of a machine that's not being operated by a doctor, that's a frightening thought.
Yeah. So it's going to roll up. So basically,
that might keep me inside. I'm serious, man.
Yeah. I've seen, if you go up, you can find this that information. What it is the cop pulls you over, then he deploys a robot. The robot goes to your window, and then it has a screen where you can see the cop, face who's pulling you over, and he'll ask you, "Can you place your driver's license in the robot or whatever, and your insurance or whatever?" You know what I'm saying? And then the robot's supposed to take it back to him or process the information, like that when it goes in it, and then the robot's supposed to spit out a ticket for you. So they said this is going to cut down on safety for cops and I guess the people who are getting pulled over. You know what I'm saying? I mean, more so, I guess it should be for us, the people getting pulled over more than the cops.
Man, I could just see scenarios where this can go wrong. Okay, so let's just say you drive and you got kids in the back going ham. You don't necessarily see the lights right away, so maybe it take you 3 or 4 blocks to acknowledge the lights behind you, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so a robot comes up like a Sherman tank up to your window, and you got twitchy ass kids, siblings in the backseat fighting. Right. You know what I'm saying? What's to say that the robot, and I don't know if it can use lethal force, but who's to say that it won't have some sort of snafu or something like that? I can see
right, because the officers are supposed to be controlling the robot, but like you said, there's been what this guy is saying, that the AI technology, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you got twitchy kids in the back, he might sense a threat.
Exactly. So yeah, man, y'all definitely keep an eye out on that. And
man, that'll be when I move out of Indiana, man. Right?
Yeah,
so that's the wrong place for that type of coding.
I heard that. Now, big story here. Big update in the Arbury case. Recently, they were doing a sentencing, trying to figure out where these 3 gentlemen were gonna, do their time or what have you. And they were trying to push against serving the time in state prison, because they had said they had been getting death threats. So, basically the brothers was like, as soon as y'all get down here, it's on. We got you. You got something coming to you when you get down here in the state prison. So they were pushing an appeal to be able to serve all their time in federal prison. So as you well know, federal prison is a lot. From what I hear, I don't know. You ain't never been. I don't want to go. Ain't going. But I heard it's a lot, safer for you. You know what I'm saying, in federal prison than it is state prison. You know what I'm saying. Federal is gonna be better. It's federal. So Not to say you can't get got in federal, but I'm just saying you probably got a greater chance of living.
You more accounted for in federal.
Right, exactly. Where state you can get lost in the, you know what I'm saying? If somebody pull you behind a dryer, it's a wrap.
Brick you into a wall and shit.
But the thing about this was interesting. They were pleading, so they could serve the rest of their time out, because the son and the father got life in prison. The neighbor, Roddy, whatever his name is, he got 35 years. So it's basically life for him, because he old as hell. But the thing I liked though was Ahmaud Arbery's mother, once again speaking out, respect to that sister, speaking out, saying that if you guys allow them to pick where they want to go, do their prison term, then you giving them a chance to spit in my face on their way. You know what I'm saying? Out. Those were her words. If you let them pick where they're gonna choose where to do their prison time, then you letting them spit on me and my son's face on their way out. You know what I'm saying? And so those are strong words, and I'm glad she's involved, because a lot of these people, when they loved ones get in something like this, like the dude in Dallas, they hugging on the person and forgive him and all.
When they were hugging
Dalton.
Hugging the defendant.
They combing her hair and all that kind of stuff. Ahmaud Arbery, I love that sister. Ahmaud Arbery's mother's like, hell no, lock their ass up. You know what I'm saying? Because she said, another thing she said, I quote her, she said, my son will be 25 forever. You get what I'm saying? He don't get to come back. He don't get to say, you know what I'm saying? They get to, you ain't about to sit there and let them choose what they do. So guess what? Today is official. They have to serve all, they got basically 2 life sentences. So they have to serve all their time in state pen.
Guantanamo Bay? No.
State pen in Georgia. So they said they had been getting death threats. All 3 of them been getting death threats. That's why their attorney was saying that's why they're scared to go down there, because they're getting death threats that said that there's inmates waiting on them when they get there. And rightfully so.
They're gonna have that cockabee sandwich ready for that.
Right, like so, put it this way: they ain't about to have no easies. This ain't about to be club fed. They're not about to have no easies. You're not about to lay up.
This ain't gonna be club fed, but my guy.
And then they were saying they fear for their lives, because the people were saying they was gonna get them when they like. You're not gonna even do these years. Don't even worry about doing them.
Oh yeah, and then Ahmaud Arbery case, he got just as much exposure as a George Floyd. There's gonna be some rap behind that shit.
Exactly. So
I don't wish it on anybody, but
yep. But the judge ruled.
Just from the karmic side of the game.
Yeah, the judge said that the judge ruled, with it, like, no, y'all not about to pick, where y'all do all y'all time. No, y'all going to state prison. So, good luck on the gun line. Good luck watching them draws.
Yeah, busting rocks and shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, see, that's the funny how people think, how you want to plead for leniency, all that, and you didn't get that brother no leniency. Y'all chased him down like a dog.
Hell yeah, like he was fucking fox and hound and shit.
You chased him down. You didn't give him no leniency. You didn't give him a chance to explain himself. You didn't give him a chance to do nothing. Y'all just started chasing the dude and killed him. You know what I'm saying? So y'all they're getting everything that's coming to them. So I'm happy. I'm a clap on that one. I'm glad that justice prevailed.
Yeah, they kept that same energy.
Yeah, it kept the same energy, and it hardly does. And then shout out once again, salute to my Arbery's mom for staying vigilant and staying strong and not buckling, not going for that. Oh, we gotta forgive him. Oh, going for that. No.
He said, my God is a good guy.
Eye for an eye out this. You know what I'm saying? But she did it the right way, though. Eye for an eye, but they did it the right way. You know what I'm saying? They let the justice go through the justice thing. So, man. So I'm glad they got the family got that. That will be some closure. It probably won't be ultimate closure, because they never get their son back. Their loved one back, but it'll make you sleep a little bit, hopefully comforted at night, knowing, you know what I'm saying, that they ain't having no easy
that the culprits ain't somewhere limping,
right, yep. Moving right along here. Oh, check this out. Yeah, I don't know if you heard this story. Let's go. I usually this on your side of the game. I know you heard the story. T.O. T.O. was recently in the news because T.O. got ran up on by a Karen in his mug. NFL great Terrell Owens films argument with pedestrian. And guess what this lady said? That's what this Karen told him. You're a black man approaching a white woman. How dare you? But the woman accuses Owens of running the stop sign, nearly hitting her with the car and then getting out of his car after she told him to slow down. She said, I asked him to slow down and he got out of his car and he started harassing me, the woman in the video said. Now, have you seen the video? I seen the video. He ain't harassed that lady. She also said you didn't have to get out of your she told him you didn't have to get out of your effing car and you're a black man approaching a white woman. So how dare you? You know who I am, boy? So they didn't lock Terrell up or do nothing. The police didn't do nothing. He explained his case. He was like, look, man, I was minding my own business, trying to go to my mailbox.
Yeah, their phone gapped open. That's
yeah, that phone was insane. And he said, but the thing about Terrell, the crazy part is sometimes he starts back and dumbfounded. He was kind of like dumbfounded, like, I can't believe this happened to me, because he was saying like, damn, I couldn't actually believe this.
I'm actually surprised he even got out of the vehicle.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know, he was aware enough and in the moment enough to have his phone with him. You know,
but you know, he was thinking, I'm in my neighborhood. I'm home. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about. I don't have to. You know, I ain't out here doing nothing. I paid for this house. You know what I'm saying? I get out of my car. Hey, lady, you tripping? You know what I'm saying? But then you know what? Sometimes when we say that money, you can't hide behind that money. Sometimes that money is influence to make you think. You living in the world you're not, and then when reality hit, it's like, damn, like
I ain't no little dude running up on
right. And then think about it, even if she's saying it, she said, "You're a black man running up on a white woman." So, I mean, all the way back to the days of Emmett Till, man, to now.
This almost going back to our B-sides with the fantasy.
Right. Yeah, man. So what do you think about this story on T.I. side of the game?
Man, you know what? I'm glad Terrell Owens came out okay. You know, I was surprised. I heard about this story, but I didn't look into it, and I didn't catch the video. But I'm just glad he's okay, and I'm surprised that he got out of the vehicle. Because usually when somebody reacts to something, usually the next 2 or 3 actions after that isn't good. I'm glad it panned out for him, that he's alive and still with us. But you know, he ain't never been no problematic person. I mean, he might be a locker room guy, not a good locker room guy, but he ain't have any problems off the field. So I
mean, and then too, just not even outside of that. I mean, sometimes I guess we looked at it as we can't say nothing if somebody doing something wrong to us. Like, how dare you say something?
I'm just saying. With him being that big of a personality and high profile, a lot of people would just sit in the cut and just let things happen around them.
Right.
But
try not to get more trouble.
Yeah, but he 10 toes down anyway, so
that's what I said. I know he gonna say something.
He gonna stand on his. So
yeah, man. You gotta speak out, man. You know what I'm saying? Them days are.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I done took some L's. I ain't no little dude.
Yeah.
I took a few L's, more L's than I like. But I'm still here to talk about it.
Yeah. Now we go from TO's Karen to pull up Karen. Here, I don't know if you saw this video out in Seattle or Oregon. There was a brother who, I guess he was outside he was just standing outside his crib, right? And this lady just pull up Karen pulled up on him and asked him to see his lease. Basically, a white woman was recorded while calling police to report a black man who was standing outside his home just south of Seattle in White Center, Washington. The woman, who was not identified, is seen talking on the phone with police dispatch after confronting Dason Barnes, who was black. The Seattle Times reported, she said, if you guys have a lease, I'd just like to see the lease. The woman told Barnes and his partner in the video. The video posted on Reddit by Bar's partner. I think this dude was. I want to say he was gay or something. But I don't. It still don't make a difference. But I think when I watched the video, I think it was a guy with his partner because they said his partner is. So I'm thinking either way, still though, she had no right.
Yeah, I mean, they probably just being careful. Partner probably could mean his girlfriend.
But yeah. I mean, I don't care whatever he with. Shit, there could be a goat out there. But the point is, a black man standing outside his crib. You know what I'm saying? Like you on your property, man.
Hey man, that's Pacific Northwest, man. Every 2 or 3 months, man, we got a nice little headline.
You know how I am about property and stuff. Like one thing, like
yeah,
I don't play with people. Like how you gonna pull up on somebody's property and be like, let me see your lease? What? She lucky she ain't get shot.
We got a colored man here standing on the ground that's way too more valuable for him.
Right.
That's crazy, man.
Like who does that? Who pulls up on somebody? Let me see your lease. Like, man, she would got her ass, man. It happened to the right one. Put it that way, because she would have put up on my property. And
Mr. Barnes, shit, he got something to lose clearly.
And she, and she had her dude with her. He would have caught some too. Came over there.
Man. He would have got the busyness.
No, for real.
If he'd have got out talking sideways, it'd been hard not to.
I mean, the audacity. Like, let's say you were just out in your yard, just mowing your lawn, and somebody came up, a white person came up, and said, hey, what are you doing here? Let me see your lease. You'll be looking like, what? Like, let me see your lease. I've never seen you around here before. That's what she told him. Like, my neighbor, I know what my neighbors look like, or something like that. You got, but apparently, I guess they had rented out the place or whatever, and rented from the neighbor or what have you. And then she told him, let me see y'all lease in, and like, nah, lady. And the dude was on video. He was like, hell no. I like that brother. He was like, hell no.
Yeah.
So shout out to them, man. Just crazy. It's just crazy stuff going on in the news, man. We just updating y'all on crazy. Let's go on some on the lighter side here, man. On my favorite side of the game, barbecue. This is the summertime. And in the summertime, everybody know I love a good brisket, good smoked brisket. I know Super Hag, like, he's another grill master over there.
Man, I made a nice rack last week.
Oh man, let me tell you what happened to this meat, man. This brisket meat got stolen, man. Somebody, the brisket thieves. The thieves stole at least 20 whole briskets worth thousands of dollars from famous Texas barbecue restaurant. They stole it from a barbecue place called La Barbecue in Texas. Now each brisket was worth $180 each, and the restaurant had already been broken into 5 times already, and they had filmed the thieves jumping over the fence, loading the meat into an SUV. It was around 4 a.m.
Marking sweet for that.
Yeah, man. So the total amount of brisket they took was worth about $3,500. They took about 20 whole briskets and skied it off.
Ooh, all the sweat equity that went into making them briskets. Oh, he said, "That's not when I smoke my meat."
Hey, no, you did go back to the. Yeah. Oh man, hey, if y'all don't know, it's a little commercial, man. It's an inside joke. That's how I smoke my meat. That's not when I smoke my meat. Oh man, yeah, man. Hey, them brisket things. So if you in Texas and your relative like, hey man, come over, man. I got the grill. You ain't gotta bring nothing.
Yeah, I got them burn ins for the low.
Hell yeah, man. I got a whole brisket over here. I throw it to you for
that meat hot as fish grease, y'all. Don't go for it.
$180 a brisket.
Hey, you did put me on them burn ins though. I ain't gonna lie.
The burn ins go in.
Yeah, they go in.
Burn ins go in, man. So, I mean, times is rough. Inflation is high, man. People out here stealing meat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what? On the real side, brisket is expensive, man. So hopefully, I watch it.
You know what? This is starting to sound like somebody on the inside that got mistreated one day, and they said, "Okay, that's how you feel. I'll be right back. Hold this for a minute."
Yeah, they said the restaurant got broken into 5. This is the 5th time the restaurant got broken into, man.
Oh yeah, I'm willing to bet a $20 bill that is a former employee.
Yeah.
or family of a former employee that was told how to get in there. 5 times, something's amiss. That somebody trying to deliver a message.
Yeah, man. So I'll chill out on that meat, man. Quit stealing that meat out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On
And he stole
the
the beef. He ain't even steal the swamp.
on the entertainment news, a little entertainment news. I normally don't, do these kind of stories, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. The man Fetty Wap back in the news. He is the one-eyed rapper Fetty Wap. He is back in the news for basically I forgot what he did. I'm sorry. He got caught up. Hold on, y'all. Fetty Wap got caught up stealing. Oh, that's what it was. Fetty Wap, he got caught up. Basically, he got arrested for threatening somebody on FaceTime with a gun. I didn't know, most people probably don't know you can get arrested for that. But yeah, they said they got him on FaceTime. Somebody recorded him, whoever he was threatening. And they came in and get him. I think it was just another excuse. It seemed like he always getting arrested.
Oh, no. I remember last season, they got one of them LA Raiders or Las Vegas Raiders the fuck out of here for being on Instagram with his shit on some shit he was saying. Remember?
He was threatening somebody too?
Oh, hell yeah. At least they got him up out of the Raiders. I don't know if he caught a charge, but he lost his livelihood.
Yeah, man. So yeah, he got arrested again.
Matter of fact, that might have been the same broadcaster, that dude that was slinging his woman around. It was right around that time.
Yeah. Now earlier, just weeks before, he had just got busted by the FBI for federal drug charges. So now he just got. I think he was on.
That's what I had heard.
He was on bond or probation for that or something like that, and he got in trouble. You know what I'm saying, for threatening somebody on FaceTime with the gun. So so they got him on camera with the gun. And the threat. So, well, you know what I'm saying? I hope it's better days for the brother, man. That's all I got to say on that one.
Hey, man, I don't know, man. That dude came out so hot. He was mishandled. The number of his that he had, he should never been broke again.
Right. I mean,
he was mishandled, man.
Yeah,
and drastic times lead to drastic measures. But
what was his little click? What was his little click? The something boys.
Oh shit! I ain't hear. That's my son's new music.
It was like what do you call the Ciroc boys? Something like not Ciroc boys. Something. The cocaine boy. I can't remember what it was. Something boys.
Oh man, but this dude was a leader of the industry in that generation at that point.
Yeah, he was, man.
It was like him, Juice WRLD,
right. And now
Lil Baby wasn't even out there. Yeah, man.
He out selling pounds and getting caught up in pistols and man.
Yeah.
Man,
just like some failed professional athletes, how they did mishandle their money and stuff like that. And then they try to fall back into a life of crime or, making deals, be back before they became professionals. It ain't the same. But prayers, man, prayers to Fetty, man. I hope he can pull it together, end up on top, and still be alive.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm saying, I hope the same for the brother. You know what I'm saying? Man, that's crazy, man. That all he's going through, and in a couple weeks. And
this is a brilliant dude. He got brains and skills to do that stuff. But when you stuck in a dead end contract, and I mean, I'm not excusing or condoning anything, but pressure busts a pipe. So
I feel you. Moving right along. Tyler Perry, your guy in the news. This crazy story, weirdo story, but Tyler Perry does dress up as a woman named Madea, so it's appropriate. No, Tyler Perry, he's in the news because he buried Bibles underneath his Atlanta studio because he was haunted by the land it sits on. He said in a recent interview that before building sound stages on the land, he buried Bibles underneath the structures as a way of refocusing the spirit of the place. Tyler Perry Studios is built on a former Confederate Army base. And Perry is the first Black American to own land. So on the property, he built 12 sound stages, each named after Black actors and actresses that influenced the writer and visionary. The land itself was once a Confederate Army base, which meant there were people here fighting to keep my ancestors enslaved, he said. So what do you think about that? He said he buried Bibles under each.
Yeah, with that being an old Confederate battleground, he had to go past the burning of sage and lay he had to bury some Bibles underneath. I get it. I mean, that's not my superstition. But
some of Big Mama's, my Dia's blessings under that.
Oh yeah, that was some of Mama's cooking right there.
Yeah, man. That's an interesting story, man. To get rid of spirits.
Hey, but that'll get the demons out of there.
Yeah. And because you have never heard of no mishaps happening at his studios or none either. So
no, man, Tyler Perry above board right now, man. I'm happy for him. I'm saying right now because the clock is still running. And, they build you up to tear you down. So we'll just see what happens.
Damn, man. So you think
I know that was kind of bleak, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, so would you should you bury Bibles under other things? Like if you got a bad, like say you got crazy ass, let's say you want to do.
I think the Bibles, for an estate that big, a compound that big, burning some little twigs, sprigs of sage probably ain't enough. So you bury the Bibles underneath. That's some great energy.
No, I'm saying since you if you one of these dudes out here with like a crazy baby mama, should you bury a Bible in her front yard, or you should bury if you having bad, you should you bury the Bible somewhere where you having bad something bad happening at work? I'm gonna be on the side of the building, put the Bible under there, hold this holy ground now.
Hey, I be spraying holy water around like cat piss in there.
Hell yeah!
I'm a burn for that one. I'm sorry.
I'll put a Bible in your baby mama, crazy baby mama back of her car because it's probably dirty anyway.
You got underneath the mattress and a little
old French fries back there and everything. So put a Bible under the seats.
Yeah, just line a few pages under the covers in the bassinet,
Right. Oh man, shout out to Tyler Perry, man. Okay, moving on to something serious here though. Check this out. We're gonna stay on the entertainment side, but we actually just gonna go to something. There was a story, there was an article recently talking about why the representation of rich Black women on screen matters. The image of the victimized Black female is one that's become all too common in media. While using art to shed light on the realities of being part of the marginalized community is important, the constant narratives of brokenness are dangerous and perpetuate. The lie that America's history of systemic oppression will forever prevent Black families from prospering. But the thing is, the funny thing about the reason that stuck out to me, because they just only focused on the Black women in this article, because they also listed, the rich Black women that you've seen, like from Hillary Banks to
Lisa Turtle.
Lisa Turtle was on there too. Was she on there? And Stacey Dash and Clueless. She was on there portraying Diane Carroll back in the Dynasty days. She was that was the diva game right there, ain't it? With shawls and furs.
Big Bones,
you know what I'm saying? They listed Angela Bassett in Waiting to Exhale, because remember she was a very prominent and rich woman in that as well.
Homegirl Lynn Whitfield from Low Down Dirty Shame, she was rich.
Right. You mean no, that was Thin Line. Thin Line,
yeah. What I say, Low Down Dirty Shame. Ooh,
yes.
My car. Yeah, I lose the strike for that one.
But see, so that they basically, one thing that stuck up my mind, but they were saying that that if you see more rich Black women on the screen, that will prevent, basically that will help foster the Black family prospering. And I think that's true, but I think you got to see excuse me, both. For instance, they listed another piece of entertainment was the Madam C.J. Walker documentary on Netflix, showing black people being affluent back in the 19th century. And you also had that, they also listed Jasmine Guy in A Different World. Remember, she was rich.
Oh, yeah.
She's a rich girl.
It really was rich.
Karen Parsons and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Hillary. You got Stacey Dash from Clueless.
Yeah.
You got, we listed Angela Bassett. Then you had Queen Latifah and The Secret Life of Bees. So basically a bunch of representation of sisters being affluent in on screen. And I think they said that we need to see more of this. However, only way I disagree with the article, I think you need to see more of the family itself. Like
what I'm saying? The Huxtable side of the game.
Yeah, lately, anytime you see something, and then now, of course, this article was in Essence, so of course it's going to be geared towards black women, so I get that. But at the same time, you can't have the black family without the black man. So I think a lot of times nowadays, women get off on a tangent of black girlism, black magicism. And that's okay.
Like magic game.
Yeah, that's okay to be proud of yourself. But then now that a lot of women I've seen with it, instead of just saying, there's some women who understand and they smart enough. They're like, hey, yeah, that's girl magic. I'm with it. But at the same time, the black man. But some women have gone so far as separating themselves from the black man. Like, black girl magic, we doing good. Y'all ain't doing shit. We doing it. You know what I'm saying? And it really don't go that way. Well, we know why. We're put down. We already know what systemic, traps are set up for us. But the thing is that I think you have to show the black man in power and the black man on TV as well, because that's the head of the family. Like, people want to forget that. Like, in our grandparents' days and our fathers' days, it wasn't not to say the black woman wasn't the queen of the family, because my grandmother was,
Big Mama was bigger than life, but
running
Grandpa,
stuff.
Pawpaw. Nigga, they sat their head at the table every time.
Exactly. And the thing I love, what I liked about it? Our grandmothers and aunties and at that time and stuff, they, even though they was running stuff, they held that man up. You feel what I'm saying? They held that man up like, nah, he the you know what I'm saying? He the one, you know what I'm saying? Even though we really know, like, oh, Big Mom, running everything, whatever, but she held him up like he's the one. And he's she let him have his rightful place at the head like he should. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you better ask your granddaddy. No, you better.
Ain't nothing happening in that house without going past his
that's what I'm saying, man. And like, when we in this age right now, you hear all this, it's black girl magic, and that's cool. I'm not saying don't be proud, because we want our sisters to be proud, but at the same time, you can't be so proud that you separate yourself from the brothers, you know what I'm saying?
You just don't want to lose sight of the mission, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. The mission is the family as a whole. There you go.
Yeah.
The mission is a family as a whole. So, it just both balance each other out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we can't have y'all without us, and y'all can't have.
We started this shit together. We're gonna finish this shit together.
But that's the only thing I had about the article, because I think, like you said, we do see a lot of sisters on screen in different roles. We don't just see downtrodden. Like, when the last time you seen last time I was seen a sister downtrodden, and a lot of these sisters now want these type of roles with P Valley. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was an example I was gonna mention.
But at the same time,
but I mean, that's a profession for the people who can persevere. If you're gonna be any good at that industry, you have to be thick-skinned.
Yeah, you really do. Yeah, to be out there like that. So. But yeah, man, like, I think we both be represented very well, and because a lot of times now you don't see us as black men in a dominant sense on TV like we used to. Like, we just recently, shout out to brother Mosley, Roger Mosley. We just lost him. Remember from Magnum PI?
Yeah.
Most of you guys remember him from Thin Line Between Love and Hate too. Remember the famous line, man? It's always a little young piece of ass I like to hit. But what I got back with Stella Or my favorite was,
that.
you know what I'm saying? You know, the words of wisdom. So we remember, that's what I remember him from the most, is that, and then Magnum P.I. definitely. But remember, he was the owner of Club Chocolate, a club in Thin Line, and then he gave it over to Bobby Brown and Martin, you know what I'm saying? So was grooming them to pass it down. And that's how we should be. That wasn't his sons or nothing, but he was passing it down. He's like, I want to keep it with some young brothers. That's, you know what I'm saying? We got to continue. Those kind of brothers that's passing away now, these are brothers that we still gotta emulate ourselves to be, because they, you know, bring stuff,
emulate, and
he had strong, and even his characters on film, they was always strong. He didn't take a back seat, even though he was like the sidekick to Magnum P.I. He still was like, he wasn't like, no, yes, boss, should I do this?
Yeah, when my dad watched it, that's who he rooted for, just like BA and the A-Team, you know?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Roger Mosley, Brother Mosley as well. And but yeah, I think, like I said, with as far as TV and film, we need to see more positive roles. But moving right along, we're gonna hit you another one. Hey, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Stay with us.
Hit the button,
we're gonna get through this together, man. Another interesting story, man. Now check this out. This was in the news, big thing in news. The New York City mayor, Adams, Mayor Adams, he was basically outraged over a small part of the border crisis impacting sanctuary cities. So what happened was the governor of, Texas sent his migrants up to New York saying, since y'all saying, sanctuary cities and we should be loving immigrants and stuff, how about y'all take some of them? And you know what? You know what? Crazy enough, I ain't mad at him for that, because think about it. I mean, I don't agree with their governor, on a lot of
you talking all that tough shit up there.
But yeah, I feel like he said y'all talking all that stuff about sanctuary cities and everything.
Yeah. Y'all say he's sitting on the border town.
Exactly. Now, this is a statement right here from this gentleman, Ken Paxton. He said part of it is that we have a significant problem on the border. I think this is a spokesperson for the governor of, if it's not the governor of Texas. Part of it is that we have a significant problem on the border. They're NYC only experiencing a slight bit of this. I mean, it's almost a little inconvenience for them, but it's a major problem for us. And so it's just interesting to see some of these mayors who have invited and have created sanctuary cities to suddenly start complaining that they've got a few thousand immigrants when we're dealing with millions. So, I mean, I really can't argue with that. They dealing with millions because they right on the border, and y'all dealing with a few thousand, and you think you're doing something, and
and then you got so much to damn say,
And they do. You know why they do this? They do this for political rating, so they can get voted back in. If I say, "Oh, I'm a sanctuary city," and blah blah blah, and you know what I'm saying, those little corny listing points they're gonna have when they try to get reelected. I voted for us to be a sanctuary city. I voted for us to get the COVID vaccine. I voted for us. You know what I'm saying?
You want the sound bites. They got the sound bites.
I approve this message. You know what I'm saying? You want to make yourself sound like you so basically liberal as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we got sanctuary city. So what the governor of Texas is doing, like, okay, since y'all such a big sanctuary city and everything, we got let me ship some of these immigrants over there now. And they actually did it too. So, they actually shipped 2 busloads of immigrants to New York City because they was interviewing the immigrants when they got off the bus or whatever, how they feel to be in New York or whatever. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at him, but they gotta keep the ugliness behind the scenes,
Yeah.
It just gives too much fodder for the bloggers,
Yeah. I mean, that's that Democrat Republican battle anyway. They're gonna be at each other's throats. But I just think I think that was a funny move to do. Like, okay,
oh yeah,
all that stuff. Let me send some of these.
Yeah,
send some up there for y'all to deal with.
Energy test.
Right, exactly. There was your boy Jay-Z, man, and his little group was in the news. Him and your boy Warren Buffett. They you heard about this. they were doing basically Warren Buffett and Jay-Z, and I don't know if Jay-Z's part of it. I ain't gonna put his name in it, but I just they basically doing some modern day redlining, man. He was doing profiling Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway. They was basically profiling people, who's buying homes, and I guess pretty much if they was black, they wasn't getting the homes. They were only giving them selling them homes in certain areas. So basically, let's say you wanted a home in a certain area, then they wouldn't sell it to you if you said you lived in this area or you were from this area. So Trident Mortgage, it's a division of Berkshire Hathaway. They deliberately avoided writing mortgages in neighborhoods in West Philadelphia, Camden, New Jersey, and in Wilmington, Delaware. As part of agreement with the DOJ, Trident will have to set aside $20 million to make loans in underserved neighborhoods. Now, right there, that still ain't doing nothing. Anytime, you remember what we learned, anytime you hear underserved communities. Now, first, remember what they just said. They said they were discriminating, avoiding writing mortgages in these neighborhoods. And they said also they made racist comments about making loans to black homebuyers, calling certain neighborhoods ghettos. One manager of Trident was photographed posing in front of a Confederate flag. The marketing materials used by Trident also involve exclusively white individuals. So think about this, all this racism and stuff, but when they said they're going to give $20 million to underserved communities, but all the racism was done to black people. So why don't they just give the money to black residents? You see what I'm saying? So really,
because when they give it to underserved communities,
that could be anybody.
And they get to write it off for taxes.
That could be anybody. So they really didn't get nothing but a slap on the wrist for that. You know what I'm saying? Because they should have had to put $20 million towards maybe an all black organization. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of black organization.
That's like the NBA tampering fine.
Right. Like I mean, you know what I'm saying? So you really ain't really giving the money back to a black community. You're giving it to a underserved.
The algorithm strikes again.
Exactly. So anytime you hear minority, anytime you hear underserved communities, or anytime you hear people of color, that usually doesn't mean, it means anybody but black people.
Yeah.
Minority means anybody, because anybody can be a minority. Gays can be a minority. White women are a minority. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to minority, when you come underserved, that community could be underserved white community. That could be underserved. You see what I'm saying?
How disenfranchised.
Exactly. So when you hear people of color, that don't mean black. That now could be people of color. Could be Asian, Hispanic. It could be anybody but us. So that's what when they make blanket or umbrella statements for us, when they don't like in the beginning they said black people, but when they got down to the money, they said underserved communities. So that's your kind of awakening and light on, like, well, why they saying black people? Why didn't they just say black? Why didn't they get the money to black people? Because they're not trying to get the money.
I know.
It's a game. It's a chess game. It's a word. You got to look at the words. You got to look at the word. Read between the lines. You know what I'm saying? So basically, in $20 million from Warren Buffett, he can scratch his ass and $20 million can fall. You know what I'm saying?
He $20 million out of his big toenail.
$20 million. This dude's a billionaire. Come on, man. Like, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that
call it pigeons.
Well, I'm gonna say, this is another episode or reason. Once again, we should definitely get reparations and cash payments, because as you see, the redlining is still going on to this day. We still getting redlined. We still getting told where we can live and we can't live. They just don't, it's just an unspoken thing. It you know what I'm saying? Like, so when they already profiled, like the manager said that was talking about some of the people who was applying, saying they was ghetto, and they taking pictures with Confederate flags in the office and shit. I mean, how can you get a fair shake? So when people say, why you guys don't have this? Why you don't have, pull yourself up? How can you pull yourself up? Yeah. How you gonna do that? You gotta literally deal with the devil. A motherfucker sitting there with a Confederate flag in his desk, looking at you and your wife like, yeah, if you guys wanna, yeah.
He's right behind the TV and shit.
Right. As soon as you leave the office, motherfucker put his hood on. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. But that's gonna be. Oh, also, I forgot. I definitely got to send a special shout out and rest in peace to brother Bill Russell.
Bill Russell.
Yes, Bill Russell. Man,
the greatest champion ever, of all sports.
Ever. Because people had anointed Jordan. Like I didn't even, a long time ago. Like Jordan, the greatest Jordan. And then when you hear about Bill Russell and you look up his accomplishments, you like, damn, why everybody jacking bikes so hard?
Hell yeah, and they try to trivialize, him playing against plumbers and teachers and shit. But man, he innovated the defensive game.
Well, the thing about the plumbers and all that is the reason they say they played against, that wasn't less talent. They had to supplement the income. Like you couldn't live off an NBA salary back then. You couldn't live off an NBA salary back then.
Yeah.
Like, they were making chump change. So in the summertime when the league wasn't going on, they would take jobs as plumbers, policemen, whoever. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll tell you what though. You think Bill wasn't playing against that good talent? As soon as Wilt Chamberlain came in the league, going gangbusters. Look at his stats against Boston, and then that'll teach you how.
But really I always go by the period. I think he played against comparable competition for his period. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't. It's hard to compare periods because you gotta remember, like, he at the beginning
he shut down everybody and he revolutionized the block shot. I mean, it was invented as a stat because of him.
That's like almost saying that. Well, because the Super Bowls, the way they done now, Super Bowl I don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Super Bowl II don't matter.
Yeah.
No, you got to go by the period. For the time period, he was going up against decent competition. Because then, like you said, Wilt came in the league. Then Kareem came in the league.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, man. Rest in peace to that brother.
He played in the league against Oscar Robinson.
Man, I mean, yeah, man. Jerry West, some of the greats. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. And he smoked all they boots, man.
You ain't lying. You is not lying, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, we're gonna end it on this. We're gonna end it on this note here. We're actually gonna pick back up. Actually, one more. We're gonna give y'all one more. Let me go these brothers right here, man. This story basically goes back to protecting. A lot of people, been coming up saying, black people didn't make this and that. We've been kind of protecting our stuff, the inventions, music, and things like that.
Yeah.
We also got to start. Protecting our neighborhoods. These brothers right here, they are the last. Basically, they had a home in an affluent area in South Carolina, one of the most affluent areas that black people was in, and they were the last ones to sell their home. So they're the last black homeowners to leave Charleston's Ensign Borough neighborhood.
Last of the Mohicans.
Man, I hate to see that. So we got to start, it's like, when you brother, don't sell grandmama house. If you get it, don't sell it. You know what I'm saying? Keep it. On a hot Friday in mid-July, basically, this black family sold their Lawrence Street home to investors by signing the closing papers. The Jenkins siblings relinquished their claim to a corner of Charleston's historic Ansonburg neighborhood. They became the last African-American property owners to leave an area that was once predominantly black. Of course, what's happening out there, gentrification, of course. So Ansonburg, like,
reclamation.
yeah, pretty much. In the 1950s and 60s, preservation projects spearheaded by historic Charleston Foundation quickly transformed the neighborhood, pushing out most African Americans. So they was trying to get rid of us out that area for a long time, but not the Jenkins family. In subsequent years, the siblings held on to the property. Some had moved, a lot of them had moved away, even after their parents died. So one of the siblings would come back and check on the home and try to keep it going. And different family members. Black renters left city officials invoking eminent domain in the name of urban renewal. bulldozed dozens of houses to make way for the Gilliard Auditorium. So you seeing that happen in a lot of neighborhoods.
The Gilliard, where we hear that name.
Yeah. So you are basically starting to see a lot of these old neighborhoods that pretty much nobody wanted. No, that's the hood. This and that. Mm-hmm. You see people walking little dogs and drinking their Starbucks in these neighborhoods.
Jamba Juice.
Doing hot yoga and Jamba Juice and stuff in these neighborhoods.
That nigga said hot yoga. I'm done.
I don't know if these people, they were like forced to sell, but I think they were getting so old and they just didn't want to put up they got tired, fighting. They say they stopped seeing people who look like them in their community and everything. So
I wouldn't even be mad if they just gave them the right number.
I mean, I just think that if we can help it, we got to reclaim some of these neighborhoods, man. Because they're worth something. And as you see, they're getting us out the way to get these neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? You know why they're doing that? Because the cost, inflation in the suburbs, everything is high. So it's now like, hey, we want our corners back. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, hey, bud.
The wire, we want our blocks. Hey, remember what he said? He said, green, red tops. Remember on the wire, red tops.
We got WMD.
Remember they used to be hearing the Spider-Man? It was like a video game. You just hear that shit in the background. But yeah, man, you see it more and more. So I think as we, as the younger generation, the next generation, if you have a grandparent or passed away and they left y'all the property, keep the property. Don't sell. Because, it's going to be an investor come along and say, hey, man, grab this. And you be thinking like, man, I don't even live here. Let me grab this money and sell this shit and gone. But no, man.
But, that's the last house, the last holdout. I'm pretty sure they got a better than market value on it. And then when you look at that family right there, them three that's standing up got a good chance of spreading the wealth to the next generation. There ain't no punk ass house they standing in front of.
No, man, beautiful, nice home, 19th century home, man.
Very old architecture.
Oh man, up to date, up to everything. Nice house, nice game.
Hell yeah.
They call it urban renewal or whatever. So urban renewal is where they kick all our ass out. They take the houses.
Hey, they got a name for it. Like when I said reclamation, that's what they called it here in Fort Wayne.
So they getting all old black people, old black neighborhoods, kicking us out, redoing the houses and jacking up the price. Or if you don't leave, they'll just jack you up the price and the taxes on you till you can't afford it no more, and then you gotta leave.
And that's why local brigands to throw eggs and spray paint your shit.
Like I know out on the West Coast, that's what they do. And a lot of them is raising taxes in some of them neighborhoods where the people can't afford it. Like Compton, Inglewood, now that's like Starbucks and Little Dogs now, where before that was, in the early hip hop era, it was like Compton and, what I'm saying, Inglewood, Inglewood. What I'm saying?
Parlors and shit.
Now you go out there, you can get you a Jamba Juice and hot yoga out there. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no
shit.
Mac 10 and Dub C ain't, what I'm saying, rolling around. So, and they did the same thing. Honestly, in my opinion, they did the same thing to Nipsey. They sent that dude to kill Nipsey so they could get control of that land he had there. Because he was sitting on, remember, he owned that whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Where the Marathon store was.
Yeah, man.
And they wanted to build a train through there. That train that they're trying to build. They wanted him to sell.
He had too much from
and he wouldn't sell.
Eminent domain. They couldn't get him that way.
Yeah. So allegedly, I say allegedly they tried. But if you look at it though, it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? They really wanted him to sell. As soon as they got him out the way, they got what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? So definitely keep an eye on property. If you, like say, your family owns any properties or anything, try to keep it, man. If you can, hold on to it. Because, it may be worth more than you think it is. You know what I'm saying? Then you sell, they throw you $100,000. Then you look, damn, this land is worth $30 million. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of land, we got chased off a lot of our land back in the days, running from slavery and running from, the KKK and all this stuff. We left that. We had to leave. A lot of people ran off their land and never, had to run north and never seen that land again, own hundreds of acres of land. You know what I'm saying? And they just took it. You know what I'm saying? So We just gotta basically you gotta do your history, know your history, so you can stay on top of things for today.
Right.
So definitely do not sell if you can help it. But other than that, we're gonna end this episode of the Weekend High Podcast. Thank you for watching. Yep, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. We're gonna be back to you on the B side as well. If you get any anything you want to send us, any stories you want us to cover, definitely go ahead and do that. Your man KZ out. My man Swag, you got any last words?
Adieu.
Peace.
Peace.